and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Royal Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. Tonight we're going to talk about housing affordability and challenges. Housing or home ownership is depending on the ability of the home buyer, to qualify for financing of a transaction. Our interest rate was very high due to inflation. That triggered lots of challenges for homeowners who are on a variable mortgage or those who are seeking refinancing. It becomes a big issue. And this is why you can see our sales. Active listing has increased 40.7% as compared to 2022 November to November 2023 based on Market Watch data available from Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. For all houses, this is an average based on total transactions. So it's been a big challenge for people who have acquired a property through a builder, and time has come now after 2 years to secure financing, and the appraised value of that come down lower than what they purchased 2 years ago. There was a big challenge, and lots of deals was falling apart with the new construction, with the new homes. People have thought about it. They're gonna have a good deal when things were good in the marketplace in 21. Some people have bought in 22, and they're closing now end of this December, this month, many of them. I have a client, a potential follower of my Realty Coffee Talk. He met me, the family, 7 years ago in a community center where I used to conduct my Realty Coffee Talk. And somehow they remember me, and they bought the property. Currently they're living, and they bought another one because they got excited because of what's going on in the marketplace. At the end, affordability is a big issue. Prices came down. They thought they will sell their small home, townhome, and buy multi-million-dollar property, and they didn't look at their financials, affordability. Do they qualify? Put down very significant amount of money that is on jeopardy, and they probably this month they won't be able to close it because they need the money from the existing home in order to close on the new one. Plus, they don't have the income to verify or justify a mortgage. So I told them to consult with a lawyer who's very familiar with the new construction and try to get this. Even they get the time extension, and we are still at the last stage of our fourth quarter. And predictions are that we are going to look like a flat as compared to the prices in 2023 as compared to 2022, if not lower. And this is very, very important that our average price that we are now basing our transactions are 46,663 less than what we have last year at Toronto Regional Real Estate Board Market Watch data. And our average price for the whole year is $61,725, less than what we have last year in 2022. So we are in a situation that it appears to me that in 2023, either we be able to break even or probably be less. Our average price may be around 1,150,000 or less this year in 2023. Average home, detached home, average price. Obviously, these prices are based on the all houses or MLS listing. They are on the MLS. But we're going to talk about specific pricing for a certain area and we can predict that, what will happen. And we're going to wait for the data that we have available for December. But my predictions are that our prices will be flat in 23 because it has not improved. And biggest reason is inflation and the interest rate hike. Based on the Bank of Canada rate, the benchmark rate is 5%. So most of us has a variable rate, or prime rate is 7.2. And obviously plus minus. I'm expecting that interest rate, if the inflation continues to fall, I expect that the interest rate will go down probably in the second quarter is projected or predicted that it will start coming down in second quarter of 2024 or beginning of third quarter of 2024. So how can you buy and buy a property when you can afford it? It is beyond the means of an average a citizen with an income, because you need a significant down payment. Even is a big challenge for first-time home buyers. There are programs available from CMHC. There is an equity sharing program from CMHC. You have to explore that option. But depending on you, and also, even though we have some challenges, is always opportunities for those who has planned well, they have saved money. The biggest affordability challenge is down payment. Where is the down payment coming from? Especially for the home buyers. They need a much higher down payment, because average price of a property, a condo unit, for example, in November 23 is 720,000 in 416 and 689,000 in 905 area. So even you are looking at a 5% or 10%, because remember, the less you put, the heavy will be the cost. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back to you.
मशरक़ी तहज़ीब की खूबसूरत दास्तान, बरसों से चली आ रही रिवायतों का पासबान, खुशबू और जायके का वही कदरदान, करते हैं हर खाने में अपने लज़्ज़त का एहतमाम। हर पकवान है बेमिसाल, हर खुशबू है लाजवाब। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, जायका ऐसा कि दिल जीत ले। आज ही हमारे कढ़ाई पॉइंट तशरीफ लाएं और अपनी खुशियों को हमारे संग मनाएं। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, मेड विद क्वालिटी and flavored with passion.
Popeyes has opened a brand new location in downtown Vancouver. Satisfy your craving for Cajun at this new location off West Georgia and Hamilton Street, where you'll find all your favorite Louisiana-inspired menu items. We sampled the unrivaled trio of sandwiches, the classic, the deluxe, and the blackened deluxe chicken sandwich, and all were delicious. All of the signature fried chicken is marinated for 12 hours, then hand battered and breaded, served with Cajun fries and mac and cheese on the side. Plus, for a limited time, you can try Popeye's Crispy Chicken Wrap, available now until September 3rd. Check out the new Popeye's location at 700 Hamilton Street today. Who are you bringing with you? Tag them in the comments.
This is the latest opening in BC for Popeyes, with more openings coming soon in both Alberta and BC by PLK Group.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
HK Movers, home, offices, apartments and delivery, big or small, we move it all.
HK Movers.
Local and long distance, we also ship cars, Keller transport and moving services.
For service with a smile, give us a call.
Call Mr. Harminder 416-524-6704.
416-524-6704 पे.
Visit 140 Advance Boulevard, Unit number 10, Brampton.
Long distance moving specialist.
HK Movers. HK Movers.
मैं नासिर शाह आपका मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर। अगर आपको मॉर्गेज चाहिए किसी तरह की, होटल लेना है, मोटल लेना है, गैस स्टेशन लेना है या किसी प्लाजे में कोई यूनिट बाय करना है, तो उसके लिए आप हमें कॉल करें। हम दो चीजों की गारंटी करते हैं, आपको बेस्ट टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन और बेस्ट रेट दिलाएंगे। आप कॉल करें 647-741-9000 647-741-9000।
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, एलजी, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं, जो आप आसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
Let's assume you're buying a condominium for a new home buyer, $720,000. That means you're paying about 10% of that is about $72,000. You have to pay down payment. How much time do you going to take to have $72,000 to deposit? And plus, on top of that, you have to have a closing cost, which is about 2% of the purchase value if you are in not GTA, not in Toronto, but in 905 area. But if you are in Toronto, then you need to have, because the double land transfer tax, I would say approximately 3.5% of the purchase value. That's what you need as a down payment for closing the deal. So it's a big burden on you. And this is what is causing a lot of problem, especially investors who have multiple properties. I was talking to one of my clients, they have multiple properties. Their rental income is not generating enough income because they have locked in for a period of time. The tenant is there for a long period of time, so they can't afford. They are adding their money from their own equity into carrying the financing of their homes. They own multiple properties. So this is the challenge. How long can you sustain? I believe now, based on what has happened, worse is over. We're going to go towards better, but you never know what the Bank of Canada make a decision. Something happened, inflation, economy is bad right now, and there's a lot of challenges. Prices is coming down because inflation is being controlled because of what we went through hard time for last 22 and 23. So there is a possibility of that thing will start moving. I would say second quarter of 2024. But right now, affordability is that how many we have now. I give you an example. I have a TREB report for 2023 November, year over year summary. Our average price have increased 0.3%, and average price In 22 was 1,079,420, and in November is 1,082,179. So month to month, from last November to this November, has improved. But if you look at the average year-over-year pricing for the based on transaction, our average price in 21 based on 75,049 transaction was 1,197,37. But as of today, end of November, we have so far 62,576 transactions, and our average price is 1,129,012. So you can imagine that average price has come down. So that means even though we will have a December, and we don't expect that December to be as aggressive or improved, potential is there. We might have more sale in December than as compared to in November. But the average price will be lower than what we have in 2022 based on year-over-year transaction. And I would say first week of January, we'll be able to share with you how December has done. But so far, it has really impacted it. So let's look at the prices on a unit-by-unit basis. We have a new listing. New listing on TRAP has increased 16.5%. So that means more sellers are putting their property because their issue is affordability. Lot of contractors or the builders have slowed their production. Lot of builders got into trouble financially because cost has increased because of inflation. Cost has increased 30 to 35 to 40%, including labor and material. So even though inflation was up, interest went up, that's a cost of borrowing for the builder. Therefore, there are challenges. And obviously, HCRA, Housing Construction Regulatory Authority, is very strict about the builders to honor their commitment. And obviously, unless they issue bankruptcy or other issues, there are many challenges. On top of that, lots of buyers who have bought new homes, they are not able to close it because their appraised value came lower. And buyers have difficulty to bridge the gap between the APS value and what is the appraised value, because bank will not going to give you money. Even though they signed a commitment to give you financing, but 10 days before the closing, they will get their appraisal. And they may not be able to finance it. They give you because appraisal came lower. So you have to have a contingency plan. This is very, very important for the home buyers. When you are buying a property, especially new construction, they are complex. Always have to talk to a real estate professional to guide you. I'm a part of Park Home. I'm a consultant with Park Home. I have all the credentials, competency, requirement of HCRA. So I can talk about of new construction because we build custom home and those are contract home. And if you need a Tahir warranty, your house has to be enrolled with Tahir warranty program. Therefore, you can call our office or call me directly. I can direct you to the team, deal with that building. We buy, we sell from resale, and we also custom build. And Park Home Builder is a licensed builder, and I have the credentials and competency for Park Home Builders. You can call me 416-451-3489 if you want to build a custom home. But the problem is when you buy from the builders and you don't afford it, you have a legal issue. And not average person can afford or come up with the money, a gap between the APS versus the appraised value in a short period of time. And also I encourage you as a guidance that if you are going to lose your deposit, why don't you make a friendship, look at the friends who may co-own the property with you. Why you want to lose your deposit? Find out other friends in the family who want to buy the home but they can't afford it because they don't have too much deposit. And they can co-own it, and you can enter into an agreement where you can show the percentage of ownership to avoid the default. And this is very, very important. To explore this option is getting a common now because it's become a challenge. If you can afford it based on your income, and you could be sued because you are breaching an agreement of purchase and sale. So the best thing is to consult with a lawyer, find out your friend and family, and if they can give you money, because you're gonna use their credit. So why don't you bring them into ownership, co-ownership? That way you are able to avoid default, and after few years down the line, you will able to sell it, dispose of, and then you can pass it, take the split, and you can buy it later on. Because this is very important. That way you are protecting your deposit that you have given. You own the property, and your friend or family or friends or relative, they can co-own it. You're not giving favor. They're going to give you financing support, mortgage. You will take care of one portion and they will take care of the other portion based on your percentage of ownership, and they can be registered on the title, percentage of ownership. And they will pay your mortgage, all the expenses based on that income, that split that you will have. Therefore, this is a good option and you should explore that. Don't let everything go by and avoid this, this default, because when you default on a contract, you go to litigation, is very expensive proposition, and you need to consult with a lawyer and look at other options available, time extension, and then selling your house to move into the house and whatever. Each consumer has its own conditions. And this is very important to discuss with a real estate professional, your financing guy who is arranging the financing for you guys, appraisal, lawyer, all your team, to make sure. On top of that, also potentially you need to think about building your legal basement that give you another revenue. And there's a lot of cities are allowing it because we have a shortage of housing across Canada, and municipalities are allowing it for you to build a basement. You generate income. And basement, depending on the size, location, detached home or semi, you will have a significant, a small one-bedroom apartment now in Mississauga is about $2,700 per month, one bedroom. Two bedroom, $3,200, rental, apartment. And this is why it's better to borrow small money and build your basement. And if those homeowners, they have a challenge right now, they think about converting their basement to a second dwelling, get a building permit from the city. If you need any help, call me. We have, Park Home Builders has a renovation team. They can put together architect drawings and get you a permit and build that. It's very simple, very easy. It's going to cost you money, but you will have a legal income which help you to pay your mortgage, and also is legal. And by building a basement, you are creating a value, increased value of your property. And those unit houses, especially detached or semi, which has a legal basement, will sell faster. They will sell higher than normal case. We have proven record of that. And this is why it's very important if you need to control your affordability issues. You need a shelter for the family. You need a house for the family. Either you rent it or you buy it. When you rent it, your entire payment is going nowhere, just to the supporting the landlord. You are not building any equity. You may be saving some money because when you buy a house, unless you have a finished basement and you are able to generate some revenue, you may be helping the landowner to support his mortgage payment. But I always said, buy it. You know why? Because you own it. That's the only saving you're going to have. Because when your kids are growing up, you're going to be supporting them in their education program, and you have a car, you have a insurance and home insurance, car insurance, and mortgage payment, and maybe you have a line of credit where you draw money and support that. So this is why it's very important to generate revenue, and maybe you do an extra job to generate more revenue to pay for that. Because if you rent it, the whole money is gone, you don't get equity. So this cycle, economic cycle, it came in after a very long time as compared to what we have. But it was tough. But I think we are over the tough time now because inflation is going down. And I'm hoping for next 2 quarters in 24, we'll see decrease in interest rate, and I am hoping the federal government eliminate the stress test. A stress test is really causing big because you qualify based on that. You have to, if you use a contract rate, you have to add 2%. And imagine that our variable mortgage, line of credit, I had it for 2.49. When I borrowed some money. Now the same amount of money, I'm paying 7.2, from 2.49 to 7.2. Imagine that. The cost has jumped from $4,500 to almost $2,000 for about $300,000. So this is why, and this has triggered, if you have a variable mortgage, because Bank of Canada control that benchmark rate where all the bank borrow money to give you the money. And therefore, it was difficult. If you have fixed a rate in a certain time, you were lucky. I had a client that I recommended fixed rate for 3 years, and I think they will be coming in next year, hopefully, for renewal. That time the interest rate will start going down. Because lots of people who have time to renew the mortgage, they are the one who have a trouble, and that's why our active listing is 40.7% in November. And we have added new listings, 16.5% on Toronto Regional Real Estate Board MLS report or Market Watch. Now, it is taking longer to sell, 13.6% higher than what we have last year, and is 18.2% property day on the market is higher, 18.2%. So let's talk about the average prices, what we have in November. So detached home sale, we're going to talk about sale. We have 1,881 transaction in detached home. Average price in 416 was $1,617,918, and 905 is $1,333,889. That's a detached home. Remember, these are average prices of detached home through TRAP system. And there is a ITSO and other boards data may not be included because sometimes our brokerage, we show property in 2 locations. So sometimes we don't show property on TRAP, maybe is on ITSO only. So this data may not be there, but you are advised to consult with your realtors in your area. Or you have any question, call my office 905-785-9923 or my direct number 416-451-3489. I'd be more than happy to help you to estimate the value of your property. Now, semi-detached sales are 404 transaction. And average price was 1,217,811, and now Sammy is $949,079 an average. Again, townhome, we have a 696 transaction in November, and a townhome in 416 was 962,335. And in 905 is 866,551. And condo, in total condo apartments sold 1,212 in November, and the average price in 905 and 416 was 720,280 and 654 in 905 area. So you can see that based on what we have historically, we have shared the average price with you during this whole 2023. The prices have declined kind of. It has not gone up, but they are kind of flat to what we have in last year as compared to this. But the overall price, which we are projecting now, will be lower or flat as compared to last year. So let's look at the year-over-year purchase percentage of change. So detached home, minus 7.7%. And average price 416 is increased last November to this November about 3.5%, and 905 0.3%. Semi-detached 6.6%, and this is a sale increase, and to 416 2.4% increase change, and 2.9% 905 area. And townhome is minus 8.7% sale as compared to last November, and minus 3.6 in 905 in 416 area, and minus 0.7% townhouses in 905 area. And condo apartment the sale was minus 5.9 as compared to November last year, and in 23 the average price is minus 1.7 what we have in 416 for condo, but in 905 is increased 6.4% as compared to last November to 2023 November. So this gives you a full picture what's going on in the marketplace, and we have shared with you all the data and average price. As you can see, I'm going to show you month to month, and in September our average price was 1,118,391. In October it went to 1,124,056, so it increased from there. And in November it went down 1,082,179. So in October we were 1,124,056. That's the average price in October, and in November is 1,082,179. So we have to catch up We are average overall price based on 576 transaction. Our average price is now, for the yearly basis, is 1,129,019. So that gives you some idea that we have a long way to catch up with 1,190,737, because we do not expect the sales. I do not expect more than 5,000 transactions in December. So by doing that, we will be about 6,700 transactions this year, and average price will be lower than what we have unless not in flat. So this is the challenge we have. We are hoping that our affordability will get better in the second quarter or third quarter of 2024. We will have more predictions to you towards end of in December, and we'll give you some most once we have the data. And I thank you for watching. If you are watching Realty Coffee Talk, you can go to Awaz Entertainment 580, watch our live program at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday. And you can go to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you can watch on Awaz TV, or you can go to realtycoffeetalk.com or my YouTube channel at Realty Coffee Talk to watch. We have over 386 episode for you is free. Please subscribe and click on the YouTube bell channel. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Bye for now. May God bless you all. May God bless Canada. Bye for now.